Well, here we are at a physical Windows PC, and connected to it is a USB to serial device. Let me just show you where that shows up. It's in Device Manager, and under COM ports there's the USB to serial device. You'll notice that it's allocated to Windows 10 COM port number 3. This can happen occasionally in Windows, that devices that are there are kind of hidden and sometimes occupying identities which you don't want them to occupy. So it is possible to change these port settings to match what you really want for your application. So if I move that phantom device, as it's sometimes referred to a different port setting, scan for hardware changes, see that port number has been modified. I'll do the same for the other device, just moving it away from the default port that's been assigned there. So I'll pick the next one that's available, and then I'll do another scan, and it's been moved. That will then free up the slot for my serial to COM port device. I just need to set it to be the right port, which is now free. And that means if you have got a legacy system where it only works with COM port 1 or COM point 2, it's very easy to just reassign the COM ports so it does have the right COM port set to it. The next task for me to do is to make sure that my settings JSON actually has the COM port redirection set to be true. So by default all the doors are closed until you open them when it comes to our redirect settings. If you're running in a per app or per user mode, you would need to shut down the container and restart it. If you're running as a service, you would need to stop and start the service for that change to take effect. So I'm actually running as a service here. So to make sure those changes to the settings JSON take effect, I'm going to stop the container and restart it. It'll take a little while for that to complete. Okay, well, the service restarted and I've loaded up the client application. I've taken the liberty of pre-installing PuTTY to this container just as an illustration of a popular terminal app. All I need to do now is run PuTTY and configure it for the user. So I need to tell it to use a serial port. I know the device I'm connecting to does need or support the speed of 19,200. I could save this as a setting, or even give it a friendly name if I know it's always going to be connected to the same type device. My system is connected to a very elderly APC PDU, so I'm going to save that. That means when the user is using this particular application, they only have to load up the friendly name and choose open. And if I press enter, I can log in with my credentials on that device. So there's the connection to the device made on COM1, straight from the container across the USB to serial device, without installing any drivers or any software into the container. I just need the drivers installed to the physical machine in order to make the USB to serial controller work. And what I've connected to here is a PDU. APC, American Power Conversion, are one of the biggest PDU, power distributed units, people around. And this PDU is a very old switch. You can see the date there, 1997. This shows that we can connect to extremely old devices that still might be in service some decades after they were produced. So that's how it's set up there, serial connection for the container. Thank you for watching.